One point I would like to clear out, because the name Ramadan is a tempting name that might let you feel that I'm converted from Islam. If it was that, it will be more appropriate for me really to stand and give my testimony this morning. The fact is my grand-grandfather was born in the fasting month of Ramadan, and it's a nickname that the family has got. And today, millions in the world give us the glory for 1 month to fast for the family of Ramadan. I am the pastor in the Baptist Church in Turan. We have been living there for 25 years with my wife, Fida, who is sitting back here, with our 3 children, 2 boys and a girl. All of them are married today, and they love the Lord very much, and they serve the Lord in all capacities that the Lord had blessed them with. So, it's fact, it's not me alone who's doing the work for the Lord, but it's the whole family with our church members, who I'm proud today to thank the Lord for the saving act that He has done in their life. As an Arab who lived for many years in Palestine before the State of Israel and has been living through the State of Israel all his history, to those of you who are in my age or a little bit older, I would like to take you with me for the 1950s and to start my testimony from there. Being a Palestinian, my mother has her family in Syria, and we decided to go there for 1 month or 2 months until things will calm down in Palestine and we'll come back home. We went to Syria and we stuck there for 2 years, and we came back before the registration of the people of Israel, because if we were able to come by that time, we will not be counted as citizens of the country. So coming back through Lebanon to Israel, we had to cross the borders through the mountains, riding on donkeys, not in airplanes nor in cars. And the tragedy that happened there, I was trying to be the first on the first donkey crossing in. And my sister was sitting behind me on the same donkey. So during the process of crossing, a bullet came in front of me. And if it had been about 10 inches back, it should have hit me in the head. But I think the Lord had a reason at that time to keep me alive because of what He has been doing in my life today. But such a thing really started in bitterness in my life, because the minute the bullet came in front of me, I started feeling anger toward those who did shoot at us, and almost they had killed me. But the tragedy happened that the owner, one of the men that was leading us, the owner of the donkey who was leading my donkey, has been killed. So the tragedy ended by 1 life. And this started to bring in and arise bitterness in my heart toward the Jews. The schools had opened in 1950 in Nazareth, and the Lord led me to start studying at the Baptist school in Nazareth, where some of you who are Baptist will know what kind of sharing and testimonies they do share for the pupils in the school every morning. So among the first months while attending the chapel every morning, the Lord had started speaking to me about loving your enemies, about the one who had loved us. I was at that time 14 years old, coming from a nominally Christian family, but never had heard anything about Christianity. So it was At the age of 14, that the Lord started speaking to me about His love toward us, about what He has done for us on Calvary Cross. Then I was really confronted with the bitterness I have toward these people who were almost killing me, and toward the love of Christ. I had to struggle in that for many years. And believe me, when they started teaching the Hebrew language in the school, every time, every day that Hebrew class was taught, something happened to me physically. I was emotionally sick, physically sick. I always gave excuse to run away from the class. I had bitterness even toward the Hebrew language, everything that is connected with the Jews. Today, or even after I had graduated from school, I felt so bad for every hour I missed of the Hebrew classes, because I knew that I have to live with this language. I knew that I have to use this language. I knew that I have to speak to my Jewish brethren in Hebrew. So I was really upset for what I have done during the school years. But actually, I didn't do that of willingly. It's something that emotionally in me had brought bitterness to my life. It happened that 2 years later, once we had a school trip to the town of Netanya, and that during that time we were not allowed to travel without permission. So something happened on the beach in Netanya that I lost my ID, my identity card, and my permission. It took me 1 year to get my ID again and to have been able to travel again, because during this whole year in which I didn't have my ID, I wasn't able to get a permission to go anywhere in Israel. So all these happenings had really been struggling in me how to equate with the life in Israel, with the Jewish people. At the same time, I was already hearing about Christ, about the love of Christ. So I have been in struggle, in really severe struggle, where to stand. In 1969, we went to Switzerland to study for 3 years. And during these 3 years, the Lord had really changed many, many things in my life. Changed even the bitterness toward love. Changed the hatred toward love. Although at that time, I did not have any close relationship with any Jewish believers. I used to hear about Jewish believers, but at that time I didn't believe that a Jew will believe in Christ. But today when I sit next to my brother, a Jewish brother, whom we both were washed with the same blood, it doesn't hurt me at all. In fact, it brings to me joy and love that we are one in the Lord. At the starting years when we came back from Switzerland in our ministry in Turan, we were at the beginning of 71 for 5 years trial. That means if we don't succeed in our ministry, we have to go back home to Nazareth. And in fact, we did not succeed. After the year 75, we did not succeed. Something was blocking our way. We didn't know exactly what was it. But our mission decided that we should leave the ministry in the village and go back to Nazareth, because it's just a waste of time. At that time, I was praying sincerely for the Lord. Lord, show me what is wrong. Maybe I'm not qualified to be a pastor. Or what is it, Lord? Show me and make it clear to me so I will make my decision. Actually, it was almost time for us to leave the village. And we were invited one evening to Tiberias to speak to a group of tourists who came from the States. And their leader was one of my teachers who taught me New Testament in Switzerland. So he invited my wife